You've probably seen strawberries sold at ridiculous prices at the grocery store, and deep down, you knew something wasn't right about that. What if I told you that the same strawberries you're overpaying for can grow right outside your door, in a pot, in a raised bed, in your backyard, almost anywhere, and they'll keep coming back season after season without you spending a fortune? Today I'm walking you through 8 steps that most gardening channels won't break down this simply, and by the time this video ends, you'll wonder why you ever waited this long to start. Welcome back to Earthly Gardening. If you're returning, you already know this channel is your go-to place for real, budget-friendly gardening advice that actually works in the real world. And if you're brand new here, you picked the perfect video to start with. I'm so glad you found us. Make sure you stick around because every single step in this video builds on the last, and the one most people skip is honestly the reason their strawberries never produce the way they should. Before we get into it, do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button right now. It's free, it keeps you in the loop every time we drop a new video, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next on this channel. Step 1. Choose the right strawberry variety for your space. Here's where most people quietly go wrong before they even get their hands dirty. They walk into a garden store, grab the first strawberry plant they see, bring it home, and then wonder why their harvest looks nothing like what they imagined. The variety you choose matters more than almost anything else in this entire process. There are 3 main types you need to know about. June-bearing strawberries give you one massive harvest per year, usually in late spring, and they go absolutely wild during that window. If you want a big batch for making jam, freezing, or just eating fresh by the bowlful, this is your plant. Ever-bearing varieties produce 2 solid harvests, one in spring and one in fall, which means you get to enjoy strawberries twice in a single growing season. Then there are day-neutral strawberries, and these are the ones that quietly steal the show for home gardeners because they produce fruit consistently all through the growing season regardless of daylight hours. If you're working with a small space, a balcony, containers, or a raised bed, day-neutral varieties like Albion or Seascape are going to be your best friends. If you have more ground to work with and want a seasonal burst of flavor, go June-bearing. The point is, match the variety to your situation and you're already ahead of most people who start this journey. Step 2. Pick the perfect growing spot. Strawberries are sun lovers, and they are not shy about it. You need a spot that gets at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight every single day. Less than that and your plants will survive, but surviving is not the same as thriving. You want fruit, not just leaves. Beyond sunlight, think about drainage. Strawberries absolutely cannot sit in waterlogged soil. Their roots are shallow and sensitive, and standing water is basically a death sentence for them. If your garden bed tends to hold water after rain, consider raising it or mixing in extra compost and coarse sand to improve drainage before you plant anything. One thing most guides skip over is air circulation. Planting strawberries too close together creates a humid environment around the leaves, and that humidity invites fungal problems. Give your plants room to breathe, roughly 12 to 18 inches apart, and you'll deal with far fewer headaches down the road. A spot with good airflow, strong sun, and well-draining soil is the setup that turns a struggling strawberry patch into something that produces more than you can keep up with. Step 3. Prepare your soil like you mean it. If you want endless strawberries, the soil is where that story actually begins. Strawberries thrive in slightly acidic soil, somewhere between a pH of 5.5 and 6.5. If your soil is too alkaline, your plants will struggle to absorb nutrients properly no matter how much you feed them. A basic soil pH test, which you can find for just a few dollars, will tell you exactly where you stand. Work your soil down about 10 to 12 inches before planting. Break up any compacted areas, remove rocks, old roots, and anything that could block drainage. Then add a generous layer of compost, aged manure, or well-rotted organic matter and mix it in thoroughly. This does 2 things at once. It feeds your plants slowly over time and it improves the texture of the soil so roots can spread easily. If your soil is on the heavier clay side, adding perlite or coarse sand will loosen it up. If it's too sandy and drains too fast, more compost is the answer. The goal is rich, loose, well-draining soil that holds just enough moisture without becoming soggy. Get this right and your strawberry plants will establish fast, root deeply, and reward you generously. Step 4. Plant them correctly and watch everything change. This step sounds simple, but it carries more weight than most gardeners realize. The crown of the strawberry plant, which is that small thick section where the leaves meet the roots, has to sit right at soil level. Not buried, not sticking too far above the ground. Right at the surface. Bury the crown and it will rot. Leave it sitting too high and it dries out and the plant struggles to establish. This one detail separates gardeners who get fruit quickly from those who wonder why their plants look healthy but never seem to take off. Dig a hole wide enough to spread the roots out naturally without bending or cramping them. Place the plant in, spread the roots downward like a fan, then fill in the soil and firm it gently around the base. Water it in right away to settle the soil around the roots and eliminate any air pockets. If you're planting multiple rows, stagger them slightly so each plant gets maximum sunlight exposure without being shaded by its neighbor. And now the part people hate hearing but genuinely need to do. If your plant produces flowers in the first few weeks after planting, pinch them off. Yes, remove them. It feels counterproductive, but redirecting that energy into root development during the first season means exponentially more fruit in every season that follows. One season of patience pays back in years of harvests. Now, before we go further, if you're finding this helpful so far, do me a favor and drop a comment below. Tell me whether you're growing strawberries for the first time or you've tried before and want better results this season. I read every single comment and it genuinely helps me create content that speaks directly to what you need. And if you haven't liked this video yet, tap that like button now because it helps this channel reach more garden lovers just like you. Step 5. Water smartly, not just frequently. Strawberries need consistent moisture, but the way you water them is just as important as how often. The goal is to keep the soil evenly moist at the root level without wetting the leaves and crown repeatedly. Wet foliage sitting overnight is one of the most common causes of leaf diseases in strawberry patches, and it's almost entirely avoidable. Water at the base of the plant. A drip irrigation system or a simple soaker hose laid along your row is ideal because it delivers water directly to the roots and keeps the foliage dry. If you're hand watering, aim at the soil, not the plant. Morning watering is always better than evening because any moisture that does land on leaves has all day to dry off before temperatures drop. During hot stretches, strawberries may need water every single day. During cooler, cloudier weeks, you might water every 2 to 3 days. The best guide is the soil itself. Stick your finger about an inch into the ground near the plant. If it feels dry at that depth, it's time to water. If it still feels moist, hold off. Learning to read your soil instead of following a rigid watering schedule is one of the most valuable habits you can build as a gardener. Step 6. Feed your plants without overcomplicating it. Strawberries are not heavy feeders, but they do need the right nutrients at the right time to produce well. The biggest mistake people make is applying too much nitrogen throughout the growing season. Nitrogen pushes leafy green growth, which looks lush and beautiful but actually reduces fruit production. You want fruit, not a jungle. At planting time and in early spring as growth begins, a balanced fertilizer works well to get things established. Once your plants start flowering, shift to something lower in nitrogen and higher in potassium and phosphorus. Potassium is particularly important for fruit quality, sweetness, and overall plant health. Compost tea is one of the most underrated feeds for strawberries. It's cheap, gentle, and adds beneficial microbes to your soil at the same time. Simply steep finished compost in water for 24 to 48 hours, strain it, and apply it around the base of your plants every few weeks. Your soil biology improves, your plants stay strong, and you're spending almost nothing to make it happen. Simple, effective, and completely in line with the budget-friendly approach this channel is all about. Step 7. Manage runners the right way. Once your strawberry plants settle in and start growing confidently, you'll notice long thin stems shooting out from the base. These are called runners, and they are one of the most useful and most misunderstood parts of growing strawberries at home. Each runner will eventually develop a small plantlet at its tip, and that plantlet is a free new strawberry plant. If you let every single runner grow unchecked, the mother plant puts enormous energy into producing new plants rather than producing fruit. The result is a crowded patch with lots of plants and very little fruit. The smarter approach is selective management. During the main fruiting season, remove most runners from established plants to keep the focus on fruit. After harvest, allow a few carefully chosen runners from your healthiest plants to root into small pots or a prepared patch of soil nearby. Once those new plants have rooted firmly, cut them free from the mother plant and you've just expanded your strawberry garden for free. This is how 1 or 2 plants become 10. 10 become 20. And before long you have a strawberry patch that produces more than your entire family can eat. No extra spending, just smart management of what your plants are already doing naturally. Step 8. Protect your harvest and keep the cycle going. Getting to harvest is the reward, but protecting that harvest is where the work gets real. Birds are the #1 threat to a ripe strawberry patch and they will find your fruit before you do if you're not prepared. A simple net draped over your plants or a low DIY frame covered in bird netting is one of the most effective and affordable solutions available. Slugs and certain beetles can also cause damage, particularly in wet seasons. A thin layer of straw mulch around your plants does double duty here. It keeps moisture in the soil, regulates temperature, and creates a drier surface barrier that slugs find far less inviting. Diatomaceous earth sprinkled around the perimeter of your patch is another completely natural and budget-friendly deterrent. At the end of each growing season, renovation is what keeps the cycle going. Cut your foliage back to about 3 inches above the crown after the last harvest. Clear out old leaves, thin overcrowded areas by removing weak plants, and top dress with fresh compost. This cleanup removes hiding spots for pests and disease spores, refreshes the soil surface, and gives your plants a clean start heading into dormancy. Come next spring, those same plants will wake up stronger, more established, and ready to produce even more than they did the season before. This is how a strawberry patch becomes genuinely endless. Not because you keep buying new plants, but because you understand the rhythm of the plant and work with it instead of against it. And that is your 8 steps to growing endless strawberries at home. From choosing the right variety to managing runners and protecting your harvest, every single one of these steps connects to the one before it, and when you apply all of them together, the results will genuinely surprise you. If you've been struggling with strawberries in the past, I'd love to hear which step you think was the missing piece for you. Drop it in the comments below because your experience might help someone else watching this video right now. If you found real value in this today, please give it a like. It takes 2 seconds and it means everything to a channel like this one. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. We put out fresh content regularly and every single one is designed to help you grow more while spending less. Until next time, keep your hands in the soil and your eyes on your garden. I'll see you in the next one.